So here's just really some of the do's and don'ts. Like as I continue to think to sit back, I'm like, damn, what really made that difference for me in terms of like when did things really just change for me and shifted for me. And kind of thinking about some things for me, what I realized was, just my level of understanding that this is not going to be overnight, right? I think sometimes, we get into business and, we think just overnight we're going to be successful speakers and coaches. And we don't really realize that this is a business just like any other business, right? If you start a restaurant business or if you start, a doctor's practice or if you become a lawyer or whatever, you're trying to build like successful practice or business, like they say minimum it takes 5 years for you to even see a profit in your business, right? And that's normal businesses. And I don't really want you getting like try not to get disappointed if you don't understand something right away, right? Like so you might not be a techie person or you might not like, I can tell you this for me, like I am kind of a techie person because I like my big time like I've been a lot of years, I was in cybersecurity, right? So I know a lot of the techie stuff, but like new technologies or like new like you're gonna hear things called like marketing funnels or like marketing software or like sending out like emails and you're gonna be talking about like lead magnets and pages and opt-in pages. You like what all it sounds Greek, right? If you've never been in this industry. And for me, when I first got in the industry, it sounded Greek to me. I'm like, yo, what is that? Right. And I got super frustrated at first because it was like, yo, how do I do that? Or how do I set up an automation sequence? Or how do I send out emails using this? Or how do I sign up for this? Or how do I use like you recommend Kajabi, right? It's like, how do I use Kajabi to like host my membership content, my coaching content? Like, what does that really look like? And so you don't want to, you're gonna learn about it, but don't get disappointed if you don't understand something for the first time. Right. And so understand that people busy, people got lives, things happen, right? But as long as they're learning, that's one of the reasons why we talk about, and it's something you do want to do is making sure that you stick to like the frameworks and stuff that we're going to be giving you throughout this program. And especially like throughout this module, where we talked about like how you be a great coach, like what you want to do is you want to stick to that, right? So you want to specifically stick to that. If you have to have like a little notepad out that has those three elements listed and based on something you heard, and you wrote like a little note down based on what you listened to, like make sure that you do that. Like you can have like, it's okay if you on Zoom with them and you have like a little clipboard, you know what I mean? And you kind of just, okay, like it's okay, like to do that, initially, right? Your doctor does it, right? Why you can't do it, right? Your lawyer does it, why you can't do it? Is like celebrate it, like go out, get something to eat, go get a drink, go get some wine, go get some cheese, right? Go to the movies, go do something, right? Like do something to celebrate. You know what? This is a movie on Netflix I've been wanting to buy. Let me go do that. I feel good. I did something great, right? Drink some water, drink some tea. I don't know what it is, but like however you celebrate, like celebrate it because the small wins are gonna add up, right? The small wins add up, and it's not gonna be like some big dramatic thing that happened. Like the client's not gonna get an amazing result right off the bat. But what's going to happen is like you help them think differently. You help them make a different decision. You save them from something. You save them a little money. You save them a little time. You kept their relationship together. Like it's going to be little things that happen and that over time is going to grow, right? Also it's about like giving them one task at a time. Let me do this. Boom. Got that out the way. Let me do this. Got that out the way. Let me do this, right? So that's really key. I like to coach in terms of like a real case study that I have, and then also too, I'll give you like a tool that you can use in order ready to collect case studies. Okay. All right. So just for me, I remember when I first started, and it's not even really related to coaching speaker, but I remember I had one lady I worked with, right, and she was a daycare owner, and literally she struggled with trying to figure out like, hey, how do I get parents to bring their children into my daycare? And this is just thinking differently. So she literally came and she was like, yo, coach, and because this is like really when I was on networking and stuff, and she was like, coach, I'm trying to figure out how do I get people to come into my daycare and bring their children in. And I said, okay. I said, well, how are you marketing right now? She said, well, I'm not. He said, I'm just kind of doing these networking events. I said, okay, well, do you have anybody helping you? She said, I have 5 employees. I said, okay. I said, well, how are you paying them? She said, hourly. I said, well, check this out. I said, you ever heard of LTV? She said, what's that? She said, lifetime value. What lifetime value is you understand how long somebody's going to be with you, and they're going to be a customer of yours. And over time, they're going to pay you more if you provide great service. So she was like, okay, I said, this is what I want you to do. Tomorrow, I want you to go in, and mind you, this was a lady who was getting ready to go out of business, like literally getting ready to shut her door. So she was coming to me like in a panic. And I said, I want you to go to your employees tomorrow, and I want you to say this. I want you to say, listen, everybody here, gather everybody up, all your employees, and say, look, I'm going to give you unlimited amount of money on your check. There's no cap. Before I was paying you hourly, I'm gonna pay you that, but I'm also gonna make sure that there's no cap. And so you can make as much as you want each week. All the thing I want you to do is I want you to bring in every payment that you bring in. I'm gonna give you $175 off top, right? Because she mentioned that she get $175 per week per child. And I told her that, and she said, oh my God, I can't do that. I'm going out of business faster than I'm already going out of business. I said, you're not going to go out of business. I said, think about what we just talked about. We talked about lifetime value. I said, how long does your average person stay with you? She said, 2 years. We did the math. Just came out to a little bit over 18,000. I said, so I want you to do. I said, the first week, give the kids some free cheese and crackers, get $175 up to your employee, because now they're excited, right? Now they just made an extra $175 on top of the check. But I said, check this out, though. I said, that's an investment because they're going to be with you for 2 years. She said, oh my God. She said, I didn't think about it that way. So she was willing to invest $175 up front to make $18,000 on the back end because of lifetime value. So understand, like, these are results that you're going to be able to get your people to get because you just have them thinking different. Like, that's really what it comes down to. So now, like, I got people who like literally like part members that are like, yo, Terrell, you help me. Like, this is working. Like, follow the process, stick to it, follow the process. You got this, right? You literally have people, I literally have members, saying that all the time, right? And so that's really key. So what this is this is how you collect case studies. A lot of times you've already helped a lot of people or you've been helping people, but how have you been capturing it? Have you been capturing it? Now you are, right? So one of the things I want you to do is anytime you get an objection, because you're going to be talking to a lot of people on live, you're going to be doing consultation calls, etc. So one of the things I want you doing is I want you to collect these case studies because especially when people start giving you objections, I want you to tell them specific case studies. Like, I got case studies of there's no time. A lot of times that's a general one, right? So if you come to me, if we ever have a conversation and you say you don't have time, I say, okay, yeah, I get it. In order to be successful, in business, I understand that, you got to have that time, right? But look, let me tell you about Tamika, who I work with, right? She was a busy mom of 5 children, and the crazy part was like, she, her, some of her children were kind of going through some complications and things like that. And, and she's been kind of in and out of the hospital herself and this, that, and third, right? And with all of those things happening, I gave her a challenge and she took up the challenge. And not only did she take up the challenge of getting appointments on her calendar, but she was able to do that within 30 days. We got people that don't have any children and don't have any health complications. And the things that's happening is they're able to, and they haven't got any appointments, right? And I'm saying, you're good or bad, that everybody has things happening, but I would give an example. For example, like that would be something I would say as an example to somebody who said they don't have time. Or I would say, hey, I had a guy who joined my coaching program named Jason, and he literally didn't even have the time, right, to be able to join, to be able to, join me live during my coaching program, right? Let's say you're coaching every week, for example. He couldn't even join me live during the week, but he was working behind the scenes. And because he was working that, he was able to still get a handful of clients. I was paying them hundreds of dollars each and every week. Make sense? Each and every one. So with that being said, like, that's what I'm saying. So you can do that for confidence. So I want you to think about what are the biggest objections your audience has been giving you. And I want you to write that down as a topic. And then every person that you help, I want you to come up with a case study to combat that, right? That's what these case study topics are. So you're going to have access to this sheet, right? I gave you some examples to help out, but literally, all you're going to do is you're just going to type it in, right? You're just type in whatever that objection is. So you might hear a lot of people saying, well, I have to, I got to talk to my spouse, right? So then maybe you have a case study where somebody had a supportive spouse and the fact that they made that decision to help them. Make sense? So any kind of challenges or objections, I want you to write that down. And then here is just a memory jogger. So it's just about your, what niche topic you want to focus on or who's your target audience. what are the top 5 challenges that they faced, and what are the biggest and smallest results that you ever helped to make somebody help them achieve, right? So with that being said, like do that, right? Do that and just kind of fill these in as you get more testimonials. All right, cool. Does it help? Good. I hope it does help. All right, because this is gonna be a game changer in terms of collecting testimonials, and I do this in terms of collecting testimonials. And with that being said, now that helps the process so much for people wanting to join my program because they see how I'm helping other people. Okay.